Julian Aldridge, and I'm Brand Evangelist at Charles Schwab Co. Challenger brands come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. One of the myths about challengers, honestly, is that it's always about David versus Goliath. It's not. A challenger brand is one that, as Mark Barden, one of the principles of Eat Big Fish, would say, is one who has more ambition than resource. Not only that, they're prepared to accept the actual implications of that and do something about it. It means they look at life, at category, at the market slightly differently and innovate to create new value. An example of that on a larger scale is Nike. Most people don't think of Nike as a challenger brand, but they stay number one by thinking like number two, number three, or number four, and constantly saying, how can we innovate? Not resting on their laurels, but doing things differently. At the other end, you'd have a brand like Uber. Uber challenged the traditional model of taxis that benefited nobody except the taxi owners. And now you can catch a cab pretty much anywhere you want at the click of an app. Challenger brands are very topical these days, partly because of what's happening in Silicon Valley. You look at the amount of money that's been put into apps like WhatsApp, into Waze that Google just purchased. These are all small companies that challenged the ordinary way of doing things and created massive incremental value, not just for their users, but also for VCs, for investors, and for the companies that purchase them. One thing that every challenger brand has in common is that they find a monster to fight. And you say a monster in marketing? A monster is something which they fundamentally believe is wrong in the marketplace. When JetBlue launched, they thought it was completely wrong that your average discount airline treated their customers as self-loading freight. I don't want to be self-loading freight, who does? And they said, let's put the humanity back into air travel. Established brands absolutely can, and in many cases have to, act like challengers. Schwab, when Chuck formed the business 42 years ago, was absolutely a challenger. They challenged everything that Wall Street was doing. And Schwab still does. What was key for us was to look back, look at the heritage, look at the things we did, the behavior that we exemplified, and do that all over again. There's another 40 years, another 100 years worth of investing. So we have to capture that essence, that energy, that passion in order to basically let Main Street challenge Wall Street. What don't challengers do? They don't follow every convention in the book. One of the key things they do is strategically challenge the conventions of the category. They don't just break conventions because they can, even though that may be fun. They do it in order to create new value, to create new products, services, ideas, often to actually enhance how we live on this planet as human beings. One of the things that I've always believed in is that there are no dull brands, just dull marketing, dull advertising, and dull thinking. Fundamentally, any category can be interesting. Brands, successful brands, have great products and services and things they actually deliver, technology. But more than that, they have a higher mission. They have a belief in something which is fundamental to us as people. If I take Nike as an example, they believe that there's an athlete inside all of us. Doesn't matter your shape, your size, your sex, anything else. They believe there's something there. If they can inspire it and give you the tools and equipment to bring that out, they're doing a great job.